Okay, this is going to be a video for a solo play of Storm the Castle, and I apologize right now for any audio or video difficulties that there may be. I don't normally know how to shoot video, and I normally don't shoot any video, but I figured I'd put this together since there aren't any videos showing how the game's actually played. So, right now, I have a lot of the setup done. I just basically am going to need to set up a defender. All the castle walls are up. The walls for the keep are up. I've got the peasants and all the battlefield locations. I need to set the tracker to turn 1. And this is going to be the +2 to draw, +2 to hand, +2 to magic, and +2 to gold. With me playing all by myself, I'm not sure exactly how many of those I might be actually doing, but let me go ahead and get my defender. Go ahead and place him. This is going to be my battlefield, so I have a caster. I'm going to set him there. And then I have my 5 gold that I'd use for my startup, or I should say the setup. And now for the first phase, the collect phase, I'm going to get 5 more gold, so for a total of 10. And then throughout the game, I'm only going to have a number of 10. I'm going to be playing the Green Tide, so that I don't have to worry about any magic. All I have to worry about is gold. I'm also going to start off with 3 ladders. I'm going to start off with 3 of my power cards. So I have my 3 cards. And then because of the fact that I am playing all by myself, I won't have to do the next phase, which is who's the boss, because I'm always going to be the boss. So just like I would do otherwise, I'm going to get 2 boss cards, and then I'm going to decide which one I want to keep. Also, with being the boss, I won't be able to this time, but one of the advantages of being the boss is the fact that I will get +1 gold each turn. So I think I'm going to keep this one right here, a little something extra, which I get to roll an attack for, which would be each of these dice. So if I had an attack 1, I'd roll this dice, which is the burst dice. And anytime you get that little skull right there, that's a critical hit. So I'd be able to count that one as 1, plus I'd get to roll these 3. Anytime I got the sword, that'd be a hit. Anytime I got that, that'd be a miss. I also am using my own dice for the Green Tide, including my burst dice that you can see. Those ones aren't really included as part of the base game. It's some of the dice that I bought as part of the Kickstarter. So the little something extra boss action is I get to roll an attack 4, adding 1 to their final result. Then I gain a gold and or magic for each hit rolled. So that's the card. Alright, so I don't need to do turn order, so now I'm going to move into the let's buy and deploy. Now, for everything that I deploy into my battlefield, it's going to cost me whatever the amount is. If I decide to go and deploy into somebody else's battlefield, then it's going to cost me +1 gold. And then if you look on the card, there's going to be a little paw print with a gold triangle. That symbol right there basically reminds you to pay 1 more gold to deploy on somebody else's battlefield. So I also start with 3 ladders. see how I'm going to deploy. It is recommended that you buy your more expensive units first, just so that you have the money to do it. I think I will do that for one of them. I'm going to buy my rock lobber that I would deploy here. And then I'm going to deploy one of my orcs, my orc pirates. I'm going to deploy one of my goblin saplas that are primarily just used to blow up the walls. And then I'm going to pay 2 gold to deploy one more goblin sapla up in the other battlefield. So now that I'm done with buying and deploying, they're going to get reinforcements. So I have all of my little tokens in the cup. Shake them up, not see, randomly draw, and I've drawn one of the musketmen. And so I think I'm going to place him here, just because of the fact that he has some range. Actually, no, I'm going to, because his range isn't that much. So I'm going to place him there to kind of help out when the time comes. Okay, so that's the reinforcement phase. So now it is my turn. Now normally the way it works is for the player turns, we're going to have events that are going to come out. So there's going to be an event drawn before the first player's turn, and then there would be an event drawn after the first player's turn, and then an event would be drawn after the second player's turn, and so on. So because it's just me, it's the number, it would have been the number of walls plus 1, but with me playing solo, I only have to worry about this wall right here plus 1. So I'm only have 2 events to start the game. So my first event is going to be ambush. So I choose a dark force unit in a battlefield to take an attack 2. So I think because he's the only one that can take it, I'm going to have my orc pirate take the attack 2. And that is the card. And an attack 2 would be the burst dice and one of these dice. So I got 1 hit on him. He has health of 2 though, so that didn't immediately kill him. So now I move into my turn, and as I go into my turn, my units are going to have 5 movement points. Now if I wanted to move from here to there, it would cost me 2 movement points. If I wanted to move here to here, it would cost me 2 movement points. Actually it'd be from here to here, but someone's already there. Or it's 2 movement there. This is actually a siege engine, so he actually couldn't move that far. He could only move up to there. But you get the idea of the movement. So to start, I'm going to move him 2. He's going to attack that wall. And against the structure, he has an attack 2. And he got 1 hit. So he blew himself up. We have the 1 hit. He's going to do the same thing for 2. And he's going to miss and blow himself up. So my last one is I'm going to move him up 1. I can't do anything else. Now my siege engine has a range of 3. So with the range of 3 I can attack this wall. And because of the fact that I'm not moving, that can be a free action to attack. So he'll attack the wall, and I'll get 1 hit on the wall. So I have the little damage tokens. A little place here to know that I've damaged it. Alright, so that ends my turn. And with that ending my turn, I will draw the next event, which is going to be an Onward March. So the Onward March is how the Fantasy Defender units actually start moving and attacking. So with that being an Onward March 1, what it means is that one unit is going to be able to move and attack. So right now, with him being there, with him being possibly within range as a caster, he's going to activate. So he gets the Mage Bolt spell. So it's going to give him a range of 3 with an attack of 1. So a range of 3, he's clearly within range. So he rolls his 1 dice for his attack of 1, and he actually hits. So he's dead. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. So now as part of wrap up, this Onward March card is going to be put back into the deck and shuffled back in. In the wrap up phase, which is the last phase, the highest number of Onward March is always put back into the deck. If you have multiple Onward Marches, then you just pick whatever one's the highest or one of them and put it back in the deck, reshuffle it, and all the other ones then become discarded. If it's not an Onward March, then all of them get discarded. Also for my turn, I was supposed to have drawn another card, because in the wrap-up phase, I will decide which one I'm going to discard. Okay, so I've decided which one I'm going to get rid of, so I'm down to 3, and now I will move the turn tracker to turn 2. And then we'll start over. Collect phase once more. So I take my 3, my 5 gold, and then because I'm the boss all the time, I get 6, so I get 1 more. So there we go with the 7. So now for the Who's the Boss phase, I'm going to take my 2 boss cards. And I'm going to choose the Storm the Castle boss card, which actually is very nice. That's a very nice card. Now at any given time I can only have 3 cards, so being the boss I can have 3 boss cards, and I can have 3 of my normal cards, normal hands. So now for the Let's Buy and Deploy phase, since I'm out of orcs, I think I'm going to get some more orcs deployed. So I'm going to pay 2 for the orc. I'm going to give him a ladder since I still have my 3 original ladders. And I'm going to do the same thing here, another 2, another orc, another ladder. Whoops. I have 3 left. So I think I'm going to pay 2 once more and deploy one of my Sappas over here, see if I can blow up that wall again. So now I've bought and deployed, so now it's the reinforcement phase. Alright, and I have gotten a Warrior Knight, which is going to be placed there. Okay, so now with it being my turn, we get our first event, which is Hidden Caltrops. All Dark Force units starting their move on the battlefield or battlefield location move 1 less this game turn. And slow units, which usually can only move 1, must push to make 1 move. So to push means that I'm going to have to roll this dice, or I guess this dice for me, my burst dice. And then if there's any damage, then I have to apply the damage to my unit. If it destroys it, it kills it, and I can't do anything else, obviously. If I don't take any damage, then I can in fact move. So this is the hidden caltrops. So I only get one move this turn, so that's going to be kind of painful. So I'll move him one, move him one, move him one. I'm actually going to move him up one. That way I can have units deploy behind him and move through him up. Okay, now he's going to attack the wall. And technically, 1, 2, 3, I couldn't quite yet. He's got a range of 3. So I could attack him if I want to at an attack of 2 instead of 3. Since that's one of my special abilities, is I can see and shoot at units over walls at -1 attack. You know, just because of the fact that I don't really like him, I think I'm going to try to attack him at my -1. Got 1 hit, so that was good. And he's a caster, so he only has 1 health, so that actually killed him. Now I'm going to keep this. If I was playing a regular game, then if I was to get 3 of those, then that would give me +1 vote. Anytime that I knock down any of the walls, they automatically, I will keep them and they'll give me +1 vote if I was playing the normal game. So that's the end of my turn. I'll get the other event card, which is the Saboteur Raiding Party. It says destroy 1 battlefield upgrade is what it's supposed to say. It says battlefield location, but it's actually battlefield upgrade. There's no battlefield upgrades on the board, so it just gets discarded. And both those cards are discarded. So now the wrap up. I'm going to discard back down to 2 cards, or back down to 3. And I don't want this card, so I'm going to get rid of it. Move to turn 3. And that's going to be it. Okay, so I'm going to collect my 6 again. Especially since my units wasn't a lot going on last time, so who's the boss phase, so I get my 2 cards again. Alright, and then I'm going to keep this one, which is Total Power. Now, one of the interesting things with this one is it says play anytime, and it says RIP. So the RIP means remains in play. So once I play this card, then all of my cards basically won't cost me anything. Because normally, there's in the green circle, there would be a cost. Tell me how much gold I'd have to spend. If there was anything in the blue, it would tell me how much magic I'd have to spend to be able to play this card. So once I play this, all of my cards are free and don't cost me any gold. Which, I might as well play it now. Okay. Now I'm going to buy and deploy. I might need a bigger unit. So I'm going to spend 3 to deploy a unit. One of my orc pirates over here. Leaves me with 4. So with with my 4, I'm going to buy me another rock larva. I'm going to deploy there. Okay, so now that I have bought and deployed, it's time to reinforce. And this time I have one of the archers, one of the halfling archers. So he's going to get ready for the onslaught coming there, so he's going to set up shop right there. Now comes my turn again, so I get my event card again, which is the Peasants are Revolting. Return any defeated peasant tokens to each battlefield location without a peasant. I haven't attacked any of the peasants, and so they're all still there. So that did nothing. That was actually good for me. Now for my turn, I have my movement again. So he's going to move there for 1. Place his ladder. Since he's on the ladder, he can attack him. Now he is an archer, which means he has a first strike. So I'm going to attack him. He's going to get to do any damage first, since, like I said, he's an archer. Ooh, and he rolled a critical, so that's going to be not good for me. And he did in fact get 2 hits, which is all the help that I have. So he dies. So that was 1. He's going to do the same thing for 2. And he's going to attack him. Now both of these guys are melee, so they'll both be able to attack at the same time. I'm going to miss. And he's going to hit me once. So because of the fact that they're all adjacent, there's only 1 attack and counterattack that's going to happen. If they had actually been on their same space, then it'd be an attack to the death. So that was 2, 3, and he's going to attack him at the -2, or -1 I should say, which gives him an attack 2. See if he can actually hit him. And I have a critical and a 1. So that's 2 damage right there. And I believe that's all he has is 2. So I'm going to roll anyway, just because of the fact that he has armor. Uh-oh. So with him having armor, he has a chance to at least be able to deflect one of those. But he didn't. He didn't get any hits. So with those 2 hits against him, he ends up dying. That was 1, 2, 3. He's going to do his attack against the wall. And miss. 3, 4. That's all I'm going to do, except I'm going to use him to attack there for the 1, 2, 3, the -2. Or -1, attack 2. And he also got a critical. So that was nice. So that's a 1. And I think he is a halfling. He only has 1, so it doesn't matter what else is there next. He dies. Okay, so that was the end of my turn. So now with that, I get my other event card, which is Defend the Castle. Until the end of this game turn, Fantasy Defender units are +1 attack. So luckily, with it being at the end, that's not going to do too much to me, because it is the end of the game turn. So no onward marches, so both of these get discarded. And we're going to move to turn 4.